Hello, and welcome to Year of the Vampire. This week we watched Fright Night.
Hey, you said this week and not today. I mean, we do watch them on Friday, but it's not a daily thing, so I don't know why you insisted on saying today.
Well, when I usually say today is because we watch it the day we make the review.
Yeah, but we only watch one a week, though.
I mean, I know. It's every Friday.
So it's a weekly thing, not a daily thing.
Anyways, Fright Night is a classic horror comedy from the 80s.
Yeah, a classic that I hadn't seen until today.
I've seen it a few times, and I really like it.
Yeah, you've been telling me you really liked it, and I actually enjoyed it for the most part. I'm not always as big on horror comedies. I don't know. I enjoy horror and I can enjoy comedy, but they don't always mix well for me, and sometimes I find the comedic bits a little distracting. It wasn't bad in this movie. Some were distracting, I guess that's mainly from the quote unquote friend character, I guess, because he wasn't very much of a friend.
Ed?
Yeah, I guess so.
He was hardly a friend.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if he was my friend, I'd have kicked him into traffic. He's so freaking annoying.
he definitely had that loud and obnoxious laugh.
He had a loud, obnoxious everything. What the hell are you talking about? Did we even watch the same movie? Anyway, let's start with our discussion points. Plot. What did you think of this vampire movie that started as Rear Window with vampires and then evolved into I have to save my girlfriend and myself from the evil vampire that lives next door?
I mean, it's not too far off. I don't know. I just found it entertaining. It was all good.
Yeah, it's a simple, weird plot, but it's fun.
And I do get the rear view mirror vibes.
Rear view mirror? Rear window?
Rear window vibes.
That's not an insult either. I actually really like Rear Window, and I still need to show you that movie because you haven't seen it. You haven't seen Psycho either.
No, the only Hitchcock film I've ever seen is Birds.
The Birds.
Not getting off topic.
That's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
It's another classic.
But anyways.
Anyway, sorry. Acting. There were maybe 6 actors in this movie.
There are a lot more, but
most of them were background extras. I'm not counting them, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, but
what did you think of the few central characters? Because I was actually surprised how few characters it actually focused on.
Yeah, they didn't really need a lot of people, which is good. Kept it all pretty center focused, and it was convincing. Again, Evil Ed's a bit annoying, but
I thought it was all fine except for his character. I don't know. I just did not like his character, and it kind of took me out of it a few times. Oh my god, when will this guy shut the hell up?
But it's Peter Vincent, the guy from the Fright Night show.
Oh yeah,
which the movie is named after. It's not a real show, but the movie's named after the show.
We actually had to. This is our second time actually recording this because you wanted to know who it was. It was Roddy McDowall.
Yeah.
Who I guess has been in a few movies that we recognize, including a more recent movie we watched, Laser Blast, a god-awful sci-fi, I guess, kind of horror movie from the 70s.
It's
or was it from the 80s?
I think it's the 70s, but it's like a B film, definitely.
Oh, I wouldn't even call it a B film. It was more like a D or E film.
I just don't know how that weird plastic tube alien gun just blew things up.
Yeah, there was a lot in that movie that didn't make sense.
Anyways, he also was in A Bug's Life, which is probably what I would...
Yeah, I was trying to find that too, and then I found Laser Blast. I was like, you know what? We should talk about this instead.
Okay, but we should get back on topic.
Yeah. The sound and music. What'd you think of the sound and music?
It had a lot of atmospheric stuff, and the music was very 80s-esque, which makes sense.
Yeah, it had your classic 80s soundtrack, but obviously mixed in some of the typical horror sounds and backgrounds you
it blended very well, the atmosphere to the film, so it just worked.
Hey, the 80s and horror go together like strawberry jam and pickles. I don't fucking know.
What? Why not something that actually sounds good together, like chocolate and vanilla?
Why don't you answer why don't you tell me what you thought about the cinematography? How about that?
Oh my god, okay, we're doing this. I don't know, it's just I don't even know how to describe it. It's just regular movie shots.
Yeah, you're not good at describing the cinematography, but that's part of why I came up with these is maybe we get better at doing them and talking about this.
There's nothing distracting. There's Nothing that seemed too dark or blown out of proportion, like viewing wise. Everything they shot just made sense for the movie.
It was like usual, like most of the movies we've seen. It was just a finely shot, filmed movie.
Yes.
The one thing I was waiting to talk about, the special effects. What do you think about the special effects?
There is so much practical effects in this film, and I love it.
Yeah, I really...
Even when it gets campy, which it wasn't, like, over the top with it.
Oh, it was over the top a lot of the time.
There was one CG part, and it was, like, involved a bat, and it looked hilariously weird.
Oh, yeah, at the end when they light the vampire dude on fire when he's in bat form.
I think that was like an animatronic almost.
Yeah, but they CG'd the fire over it, is what I'm talking about.
I just was thinking of the one part where the bat was flying, and it looked almost like it was like a flat 2D thing, like just moving forward, and it was...
Attack of the JPEG bat.
It wasn't terrible, but it just made me think for a second, that was a bit odd. I'm really happy when I see practical effects, to be honest.
we've mentioned this on the channel. Anyone who's like seen our videos or heard us talk about movies and stuff know that we really enjoy practical effects, and especially toward the end, there was a lot of really good practical effects work.
Yeah. I guess I should mention it since we don't plan on reviewing any sequels during this thing.
Oh, yeah.
There is a second movie and a remake.
The remake I have heard is actually not terrible, from 2011.
Yeah, I never watched it. And the second one's terrible.
Peter Vincent, instead of being like a slightly washed up TV movie guy, is played by David Tennant, one of the Doctor Who doctors, and he's like some Chris Angel looking dude.
Wait, really? David Tennant?
Yeah. Like everybody's favorite Doctor Who doctor.
I also enjoyed all the like stereotypical tropes that they stuck with as far as involving vampires. They
except for the garlic, that never came up.
They mentioned it, but they never used it.
The holy water didn't really come up either, because that was tap water.
Yeah, they mentioned that on the phone. Like,
so really, it was mainly the stake to the heart, which obviously that's going to kill whatever you use it on. It's a stake to your heart, and the cross. There's probably an explanation, but
needing permission to enter places, that is one thing that I actually really like about vampires.
Yeah.
And the mom ruined it right away for the kids.
Yeah, I guess I was always under the impression that they needed permission every time, but I guess it's only once.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was Fright Night.
Wow, this is like the longest one we've done so far.
From the 1980s.
There's a lot to talk about.
Fright Night from the 1980s.
Yes, you've already... you don't have the specific day, though, or year, oh my god. Anyway, let's wrap this up. I liked it. I'd recommend it. What about you?
Oh yeah, definitely worth the watch.